can you just like tell me who you are, where you're from, and like a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I am Alex Rengers, aka the Reng. I'm from like the northwest suburbs of Chicago. My family loves music. Like there's always music playing constantly. Like from the moment the house is up in the morning, like our radio at my parents' place immediately plays music like on a timer. Like the radio turns on at like 8 a.m. or something like that. So I was always surrounded by that. Then I was in band. We were talking earlier. I was in band through like middle school and high school. So I ended up playing French horn for 10 years, and that was super dope just to like understand music a little bit. Like I didn't know until like 2 years ago that I was understanding things or learning things. I was like, oh, I'm just like playing. I'm playing the instrument because I'm in the class or whatever. And so yeah, I did that up until college. Stopped doing anything in music for a couple of years when I got here. Actually, I did pep band when I got here, and I didn't love it. I was like...
Was it just like different from the whole experience that you had already had?
Yeah, it was like I did like pep band stuff in high school too, but then all the cheers were different, and then it was like the French horn doesn't have a great part in a lot of cheers. I was like, this is super lame, man. Like, I don't think it's the fault of the program they have going, but it just wasn't for me. So I stopped doing that. I honestly did a bunch of drugs and drank a bunch for a couple of years, as they do, but I was like not doing well in my courses either. But eventually I was talking to a friend. I was saying that I could make better dubstep than what we were listening to, and they were like, all right, call your bluff. And they were 100% right at the time that I didn't know what I was talking about, but I started there. So I downloaded FL Studio when that person told me that I should try it out.
And did like your friend pushing you, like, was that kind of like lighting a fire under you when you realized you couldn't like make better dubstep, or were you just kind of like chugging and chugging and chugging, like, all right, like I like doing this, so I'm gonna do it?
I think it probably, you know, now that you say that, it probably did light something under my ass. I was probably like, you know, I can't like talk my shit like that and then just not be good. And then there was a point of like I was making loud ass music in my bedroom, and then I knew that I had neighbors that were hearing it, and I was like, if I'm gonna make dubstep, if I'm gonna be that guy making dubstep in his bedroom, I'm not gonna make shitty dubstep. Like I gotta make some decent shit. So like I continued to make shitty dubstep for like a year and a half, 2 years, and eventually I kind of figured out like, oh, it's like this works for me and this doesn't, and kind of, you know, you piece it together, you figure it out.
And on that journey, like, what are some like things that you learned that turned you into a better like producer / musician?
I feel like I have different answers for each side of that coin, because like you could be a producer and not necessarily a musician, and obviously the other way around. So as far as like production goes, it was like get the best core product to work off of. It's like I kind of also preface, I lump engineering, like mixing, recording, and production all into one big production sphere. I know that's debatable as fuck, but like for the sake of the conversation, it's just like
interpretation. I feel you. I'm
yeah,
the same
and
way when I like do videos and stuff.
Exactly, and I was like, I gotta do everything. Like I don't know nobody. I gotta like, I'm not gonna make the dubstep song and not mix it myself. Like just handing it over to someone. So it was a lot of like figuring out slowly but surely that if you get a good core sample, it'll just be better by the end of it. So like everything is kind of like building blocks, and if you start with like a really shitty guitar sample, then you're only building on a shitty guitar sample. Like you're not making it that much better. Obviously there's a point of engineering and mixing where the point is to make the thing that you have better. But you can't make, like, you could polish a piece of shit and it's still a piece of shit.
Exactly.
So
it's just
like
a polished piece of shit.
Exactly. So it was a lot of that on the production end of it. As far as the musician side of it goes, learning what I was doing, like, firsthand instead of secondhand as a producer. And I, like, luckily I had, like, history using a musical instrument, so learning how to use other instruments wasn't that hard. You see the piano behind me. I had prior knowledge that I didn't know I had, and I was like, okay, I'm clicking and dragging MIDI notes into a grid right now. I could just, like, play this to an extent and have it be way cooler sounding. So I got a little baby piano that I don't have anymore. But it was like, 12 key.
Was it like one of those little mini keyboards?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like messing around with that for a little bit, and eventually this piano is a Christmas gift. Thank God. Shout out my parents. I got that thing. I was like, all right, now I really gotta figure this out. I gotta, like, really know how to use this. I can't just have this
now you're
piano.
Like, really committed to it.
Exactly. And it's taking up, like, a huge portion of my room. So I better learn how to use this thing.
Exactly.
So I just, like, figured it out. I don't know. I'm sounding it out, piecing it together. Obviously, there's better piano players out there than I am, but, like, combining actually using an instrument and then also using digital workstation, like, I feel like that's where you can really get in tune with what you're creating. Like, I was just taking samples and I was like, oh, I'll spice it here and there. It didn't sound like bad necessarily.
Yeah, but it's all like in the digital space.
Exactly, and I couldn't really connect with what I was doing. That was like the piece of the music I was missing. I was like, this is dope when I finish the beat and I can dance to it, but I can't dance to the music while I'm making it, and that was a problem for me. But so yeah, that's just getting in touch with what you're creating. As we talked about the production, that's the music side. Like,
and I think, like, in touch, like the word touch especially is important, because, like, I don't know, I feel like
you have to be hands-on with
exactly.
it. Like, that's the only way to do it. Hands-on, and that's only step one too, because, like, you could play Chopin on the piano and not feel it.
Exactly.
Like, you could be technically skilled, but until you start, like really
really
grooving with it, like, you gotta get your groove on.
Exactly.
Type shit.
It has to be like a balance of like technicality and like spirituality.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That is actually very well put.
Yeah, I think that's true for like any art. Like, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing like music, painting, like digital art, like whatever. Once you start getting those real world elements, like and real, like, you into whatever you're doing, that's when it starts like to pop the right way.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I think. Building on like the real world, I know you've been collaborating with like Bigelow T and other people. Like, can you tell me what working with other people does for you, like, on an artistic scale?
Absolutely. I think I don't think I'd have half of the ideas that I have if I didn't work with other people. Like, I only have so much in my brain. Like, I'm one dude. Like, I only got so much going.
Exactly.
And I'll end up making like the same beat 3 times and be like, they're all different, but they're all
me.
The
core, yeah.
And it's like, the only way to get out of that groove is to work with other people and see what their input is, see what they can bring to the table. So I started working with different rappers. I don't know, since I started, like, when I had a DAW, when I first downloaded FL Studio, I was like, I got a studio, like, being super head ass still about it, but like, I was like, I need to meet other people who are trying to do something in this realm.
Did you feel like you were like a part of something bigger at that point?
Yeah, a little bit. And I was like, okay, everyone kind of has their own way of going about this. Like, everyone's doing something different, which I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So, like, I would get in sessions with some people, and sometimes you're sitting there and you have a rapper breathing down your neck, and they're like, where's the beat, bro? Like, it needs to be more drilly. It needs to be more trap, bro. Like, you can't even make a trap. Like, I've had that situation. Maybe not, like, outright they're telling me I'm, like, dog shit or whatever, but,
like they want something.
Exactly. Like, they're waiting on me to figure it out so that we can get on with whatever we're doing. So I feel like that, we talked about fire under my ass earlier.
I was just thinking about
that. Is, like, that was, like, the most apparent fire under my ass. When it was first starting, I was like, I need to figure this out, or I'm just looking goofy as hell inviting people over. So I started doing that, and it like forced me to be creative a little bit. And to a point, I think if you are putting out like any form of art, you need that at some point.
Yeah,
like you need to
something that's keeping you going.
Yeah, you need like a thumb on your face going like, keep going. You can't not do it right now. You have to figure it out. So that helped me a lot, and just like getting out of my own way so that I can get things done.
Yeah, like
and just
really
stopping
like,
thinking about it and just doing it.
I feel you, and I've been there too. Sometimes I just have to like sit down with myself and like get all of those what ifs and anxieties out of my head before I do something. Just because it's like, if I go into it with all of these thoughts, like I'm barely gonna get the piece done as it is, and if I do, it's not gonna be like to its highest standard. You know.
And I think like all the things that I've made that I like the most, it has come from me not like beating myself down to get it done. It was more like, all right, I'm sitting down and I'm doing it. Just don't think about it. Just do it. You're gonna get whatever you get, and it's always gonna be better if you flowed with it rather than if you like pushed it uphill.
I feel you, like especially uphill, because it's gonna be way harder for you to like get it done instead of just flowing.
And that was like early days. Honestly, it's not like that long ago. Probably like 2-3 years ago now. Just like that really got me into an area where I could actually start working with people, and like I was bringing things to the table too. It wasn't me just trying to like catch up to the room. And that's when I started meeting Tanner and Bigelow T. Shout out, and I mean all the other homies, Maestro, Darius, Stan. Shout out.
I was just Stan and Darius the other day.
You were? Hell yeah.
We were at UTK studio.
Shout out UTK, bro. So yeah, just that really opened me up to working with a bunch of new people in town. I mean, I can't wait to see where it goes.
I was gonna say, do you have any like goals of where it goes, or are you just kind of like free flowing and seeing where the wind takes you?
I wanna say that I'm like Mr. Free Flow where the wind takes me, but I mean, I do have some goals. I'm working on a tape right now with we're gonna tape with the people I just mentioned, and then I believe I'm adding a few more people to that. It's not a lot of concrete stuff going on there, but
like a lot of like ideas right now.
But I'm gonna put out a project later down the line. I don't have a date for it, but it's coming, where it's just I'm gonna make all the beats, do all the engineering, and it's gonna be featuring a bunch of the homies from Bloomington.
Hey, I like that, like an in-town type thing.
Exactly, and it's like I put out dubstep as well, like that's dubstep. I'm putting out my own electronic music all the time, so I was like, I also do this. Like, I should try to get everyone on a thing. It just felt like the right thing to do. Not even like not like the right thing morally, just the right thing.
Like that's where your mind is like heading towards.
It was like that's the creative outlet I need. And it just kind of works out. I know all the homies, so I
like that. I like that you're bringing people together in like search of a bigger creative vision. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like
absolutely, 100%.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Do you want to talk about anything else? Anything like that particularly comes to mind?
Anytime I'm in a room with a bunch of prepared people, it always goes better, which sounds super stupid. But
I get it.
Like, I don't know. There's obviously a component of like being on the fly, kind of doing things, just flowing. But then sometimes you're in a room with people and it's like, let's all do the thing, and then
everybody is collectively working towards that thing.
Yeah, hopefully. Sometimes when it's not like that, it's a real tough time in the studio. It can be. It doesn't happen all the time. It really doesn't happen that often where it goes south by any means. But like, I don't know. I love when everyone's on their game and everyone is like, yeah, let's just be creative. Let's do whatever it is. Throw it against the wall. See what sticks. Like, that is like the best energy. I love it.
I was gonna say I've been there too. Like whether it's like working with the team that I've got right now or past teams that I've been with, whenever everyone is on an accord of like, let's come up with something, let's create, like, and build like some real shit.
Mm-hmm.
It always just comes out like so much better. It like motivates me to work, and I'm sure the same can be said for you, because like
100%.
you're surrounded by people who are committed to this thing and like determined to making it happen, and like that is just like, it's something that you can like latch on to, like that same commitment and determination. It's 10 times more, and you got like 5 or 6 other people doing the same thing, or 10 or 20, however many people it may be.
Exactly. And like it's almost like community building.
Yeah.
Like you could build like a whole like energy just around a project you're working on, which I love that energy.
Yeah. I love that too. And I mean, I can hear it in the tape you got coming out. Like, I don't know. It's very exciting to hear. I know that from this conversation alone, like, I can tell you're somebody who is committed to like the bigger picture and not just, you know, you. That doesn't mean you're not like working on you as like a creative person.
Yeah, but that's 100% true, and it's like, I mean, it takes a village to do anything like to make it, I guess. I don't know that I'm concerned with making it as much as I am with just creating something dope.
Yeah.
And that is making it to me. I'm like, did I make a dope thing today?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good day.
like if you bang something out that you are proud of, it's pride, you know? You're excited, you're happy about it. It was a good day, indeed.
Exactly, dude.